are,
My kids are all Republicans, but they didn't have much of a choice. I had to beat the heck out of them when they were little.
Yeah, did you ever notice that, when kids grow up, they're all Democrats because they want to be do-gooders, and then they realize that no matter how good they do, the Democrats actually take away from them?
Well, my uncle used to say, when you're young, if you're not a Democrat, you don't have a heart.
Right.
When you're older, if you're not a Republican, you don't have a brain.
Correct. And then when you're much older, you didn't care anyway.
Right. So let's talk about something that's already upsetting me today on the show.
What's the matter?
PhD comes out and says, in no way do the ideas of these hosts represent PhD. In no way. In no way. PhD 1210 used to have a stocked bunch of Republicans that talked on there, including the great Rush Limbaugh. But apparently, whatever we say, has no way do they support.
So do you know that they say that on every single show? Even it would have been on the beginning of the Rush Limbaugh show, the Rich Cioli show. They say it every show.
Regardless of whether they say it on every show, I don't like when they say it on our show.
Why? They don't want to be held responsible for what
I get the reason why. I just don't like it.
Talk show hosts say.
I just don't like it.
All right. Well, just so you guys know out there, you can call us 855-939-1136, 855-939-1136, and you can tell Phil that you think that everything we say is important.
1137.
1137? Did I actually give the wrong number out?
Yes.
Are you kidding me? That's that kind of day I'm having. Okay, sorry about that, everybody. Scratch that. 855-939-1137.
Who's the other number? Is that like some girlfriend you have on the side or what?
Don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, my girlfriend has an 855 number. 855-939-1137. Oh, yeah. And Glenn lets us know that the station doesn't want us to endorse a shyster.
Yeah, a mafioso shyster.
He sounds like a mafioso shyster.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. So if you're listening to this show right now, you are definitely going, what the heck do these guys talk about anyway? We talk about money, and we talk about having fun, because that's what we do. We make so much money that we could sit on the radio right now and just talk about anything we want. But we'll educate you too. So what should we educate people on today?
Oh, you want to talk about our dinner last night? We were we actually had dinner outside last night in a rainstorm.
Right.
There were these plastic curtains hanging down, and surrounding the area we were eating outside, it had a metal fence, and there were heavy weights kind of like holding down the plastic, and the wind was blowing the plastic away from the metal gates and then bringing them back, and they're crashing. And so we enjoyed a dinner for hours with this crashing sound going on, like the world was coming to an end.
Yeah, it was pretty wild, actually. But we enjoyed the dinner, didn't we?
Yeah, especially the warm nuts on my salad. They were wonderful. I had a salad with cranberries and oranges and these warm nuts on the top. And I'll tell you, when you put a couple of those warm nuts in your mouth, it just feels wonderful.
Just imagine what we were saying at dinner last night that we can't say on the air about his warm nuts. That's pretty funny. All right. Now that we've made everybody on the radio go, what the heck? We'll be talking about how it's great to be a real estate investor and how you could buy salads with warm nuts. That's it.
Well, let's talk a little bit about real estate.
All right.
So let me ask you something, Larry. Suppose you find a building that you certainly could rent it, or you could sell it. Right? What? I don't know what you're pointing at.
You got to look at the Facebook comment feed. I can't tell you what it says, but you got to look at the Facebook comment feed. It is freaking hysterical.
Yeah, I see. Okay.
And that was freaking. I said it.
You already told me he said that.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Okay.
So you're looking at a property that you can rent, or you could sell and make a hefty profit.
All right.
A hefty profit.
Right.
Right? Okay. Are you going to stop pointing at the Facebook screen?
I didn't know if you saw what it said.
Yeah. I know that.
No, shh.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. So, anyway, if you're looking at a property that you could rent or you could sell and get a hefty profit from it, do you have any specific calculations that help you figure that out, or tell me how you analyze that?
So it's something, you ever know, like when you're younger, you think you figure something out, and then you realize that the rest of the world's already figured it out? So when I was about 19 years old, I figured out something that I now call, or everybody else now calls, the 1% rule. which basically says that if you're buying a property, let's say it's $100,000, and there's a tenant renting it, you want to know if that could be a good cash flowing property. So what I'll do in my head real quick, I'll say, hey, how much is the rent? And if the rent is at least 1% of the purchase price per month, so in other words, $100,000 and $1,000 rent, I know that property will probably make money, and I probably will have a good cash flow on it. So it's 1%. So I want 1% or higher. I mean, obviously 2% is better, or even anything above 1% is phenomenal. If somebody tells me that it's 1.5% or better, I can't get in my car fast enough to go see the property. That's how good those numbers could be.
Yeah, but also, even if the property was earning less than 1%, you could easily walk in and raise the rents right at the time you buy.
That's true. That's true.
You
But
certainly can do that. So you do have some control over it.
yeah, and I don't always. So sometimes I'll look at a property and I'll think about what it could be rented for. But I know that if the guy's already renting it for $1,000 and it's $100,000, I don't need to do anything. I know it's going to make money. It'll probably make me between $150 and $200 a month. Don't ask me how I got that, because it's not a true calculation. It's just an estimate based on years of experience.
So the reason I asked the question is because at the end of November, I'm settling on a house in the Hatboro area that I purchased. I don't know if I showed you pictures of it or anything, but it's a cute little house. The house had houses on either side of it and another house behind it, and they were all demolished by FEMA in a flood years ago, like 20 years ago. So now I'm looking at this house, and I'm just thinking to myself, well, in this crazy market right now, I might be able to make $50,000 or $75,000 off of the house.
Yeah, sure.
As opposed to, a reasonable cash flow. If I could get $500 a month, that would be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And I could live off of that money as well. So, and I still own the house, so the house will continue to go up in value, and I'll be able to benefit from the selling the house in the future. But for now, I think I probably want to just keep it as a rental and just make cash flow.
So how much out of your pocket are you putting into this house?
I think it needs almost nothing. Now, what's weird about this house is it's been sitting there for like 50-something years, right? But it's very outdated, but it's in very good shape. When you go into the bathrooms, it's like the old ceramic tile, but none of them are broken.
Wow, so you're walking into a time machine.
It really is. It's like a time warp when you go in there, and it's got some carpet, but the house itself looks completely together. Like it's move-in ready right now, tomorrow.
Awesome.
If I bought it tomorrow, it would be move-in ready immediately.
So, all right, but how much out of your pocket did it cost you to buy the house?
It's I'm buying it for $165,000.
And are you paying that cash, or are you?
I was thinking of using my home equity line of credit to just straight up buy it.
Okay.
Right? Instead of trying to wholesale it, I was going to straight up buy it, then turn around and list it for sale on the MLS.
Okay, so that's where it makes the difference. So if you're buying it for $165 and you're taking it out of your home equity loan, it's basically costing you nothing. It's costing you interest on the home equity loan, which is nothing. So it's a fantastic price.
Right, and when I sell the house, which will probably be pretty quickly, I get back all the money plus all the profit.
Correct.
So I think it's going to be hard if you compare the cash flow of this house. I'm just guessing it could be $500 a month, but what if it was $800 a month? All of a sudden, I might want to just keep it.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you're $800 a month, your HELOC will probably cost you.
It'll pay for the HELOC.
It's going to pay for the HELOC flat out. You're going to get $800 on top of it. Yeah, your HELOC will probably cost you $700 a month. I don't even think it'll cost you that much.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure. So it's just interesting. I was wondering when I was writing the script this morning. I was thinking, I know you do the 1% rule, but I was wondering if you had some way to compare those two things mathematically. Like, do you ever use the gross rent multiplier?
I never do.
It's a weird formula. So, for example, the way a gross rent multiplier works, I'll give you this example that I wrote on this script today. If a house is selling for $144,000, you divide it by the annual rent. So just to keep the annual rent easy, let's say it was $1,000 a month, divided by $12,000, your number's 12, okay? If your rent was higher, then so the way a gross rent multiplier works is lower the number, the better the number, okay? So if your rents are higher, you might be at an 11 or at a 10. So it's just another calculation out there to value a piece of real estate.
So what number would you buy the property at? Because 12, in this case, if you're buying it for $144,000 and it's $1,000 a month, doesn't meet the 1% rule. So 12 gross rent multiplier is not a great number.
Yeah, well, this is just an example I took from, a formula I found online.
No, I understand. But if 12,
but I agree, this
if
doesn't.
12 is no good, what would be good? Would 10 be good? Would 9 be good? You don't know.
Well, I would say for one thing that the 1% rule is a lot easier to use, and you just use that.
Sure, that's what
right?
your point is trying to make. I got you.
So,
Yeah, sure.
so I don't really see the sense in the gross rent multiplier. I know that realtors will use it as a way to kind of say, I'm really smart and I did this calculation for you. but the calculation itself doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It might make more sense to me if I started using it at every property I looked at, but I don't know that I'm going to do that.
Gotcha. Hey, by the way, if you want to call in, 855-939. What's that number again? 1137. 855-939-1137. Give us a call. We're talking about real estate. We're talking about stock options. I don't know. We were talking about worm nuts on salad or something. I don't remember. But okay, that's fine. 855-939-1137.
You want to talk about worm nuts?
We got to be careful. We're going to be thrown off the radio. 855-939-1137. So, the problem is, we're now channeling Howard Stern because Howard Stern can't channel himself anymore because he's become everybody that he's become everybody that he used to make fun of.
Well, look, we're just having a little bit of fun.
Exactly.
It is a Saturday afternoon. We don't have to get too serious, right? We're working. You're probably not. And we like to have a little fun here.
Yeah, if you're in your car, give us a call. 855-939-1137. And turn up the radio so you can hear us a little bit louder.
So one of the guys that Larry and I know really well, who we used to work with him, he used to say that if you need a calculator to figure out your deal, then it's not a deal at all. What do you think of that, Larry?
I actually agree with that 100%, especially because I don't want to take out a calculator. I don't have the time to take out a calculator. I'm on the phone with somebody in 5 seconds. I want to figure out if this is worth my time to go see the property or not. And the 1% rule works for me every time. It's also good to know the area, too, because they may not know what it rents for, because sometimes you're buying a house that somebody's living in, and you may say, hey, what do you think it's going to rent for? Like you did that with your mobile home park, too, the one you just bought.
Yeah.
You, what were the rents? Was like $600-700 or something?
The rents, the total rents were $4,500 a month.
No, I mean, but each individual unit on average.
Divided by 10, so $450.
Okay. So there you go. So right. So then you raising the rents. You had one you raised to $1,000, I think.
I raised the rents right off the bat, $900 total across the board.
Wow. Okay.
Not to $900. I
Right.
raised them $900
Total.
immediately as I bought the place.
So you made
total.
it. Okay, I got you.
Right.
So
I was getting roughly $100 a unit.
Right,
right off the bat.
And I remember you had called around other mobile home parks to try to find out what the rents were because you were trying to be competitive. I love the answer.
Yeah, we couldn't find anybody who had anything for rent. And that told me, boom, I can pop this as much as I want. And in Florida, if you don't know the rules, it depends on what county you're in. But in the county that I'm in, which is Pasco County, I have multiple mobile home parks in Florida, but in Pasco County, the rule is if the tenant doesn't have a lease, therefore you could raise their rent every single month if you want.
What?
Yeah. Say that again.
That's pretty amazing, right?
What?
Yeah. So, funny, one guy called me up and started giving me a hard time, and I thought, well, I mean, I don't really need to be pushed into raising people's rent, but if you want to push me, okay. So,
and this was a guy you raised the rent on, and he said,
right.
And he said he didn't want to stay, right?
Right. And
I wonder where he went to live.
I don't know, but he should be packing up his bags right now.
That's great. I hope he's not listening to the show because he might call in and yell at you. Hey, by the way, if you are the guy that he raised the rent, 855-939-1137, you can call up and yell at him, but you just can't use any of the 730 words. That's all.
He gave me a real good lecture. He said, "You don't understand how it works in Hudson." I said, "Oh, well, why don't you educate me then?" And he said, "You just don't understand how it works around here. Rents are very cheap here." And I said, "Oh, wait a minute, but isn't Pasco County in the state of Florida where 1,000 people are moving a day, where you can't buy a house, even if it pops up for sale at 2:00 in the afternoon and it's gone at 8:00 at night? Isn't that the same state? Isn't that Florida?" right? Try renting a house in Florida. It's even more impossible.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
amazing.
not that I try to rent houses, but I do look at rentals because I can rent properties and turn them into Airbnbs and not have to buy them all the time, right? So, not that I do that strategy, I typically just buy them. But it's funny. So he gave me a big lecture, and after about 15 minutes of letting him ramble, I just had enough. And I decided to have him leave the park.
That's great. It works every time. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, yeah. And then somebody else heard the scuttlebutt. Can't use that word enough, you know?
You like that word, huh?
Yeah, I like that word. I like it almost as much as discombobulated.
Yes.
Okay, so the scuttlebutt going around the park was that the new landlord, I'm talking about me, is a jerk and he's going to raise the rents on everybody. And I think I made that pretty clear right from the beginning with the very first piece of communication was a letter telling you I'm raising your rents.
Oh, I thought the letter said that you were a jerk.
No, they just surmised that I'm
okay.
a jerk.
Okay.
Right, and they would be right. It's okay, I'm all right with it. Someone has to do the dirty work. The previous landlord didn't raise the rent for 20 years. And when I said to her, well, when's the last time you raised the rent? She says, well, I only raise the rent when somebody leaves. And I said, well, how often do they leave? She goes, never.
That's great.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
I had to do the dirty work that she wasn't willing to do.
Ooh, you know what we have coming? Did I tell you about this? We have on Thursday. We have a special guest speaker coming.
Yeah, you told me about the Lonnie dealer. that's
Yeah,
coming.
we have a guy who he buys mobile homes, renovates them, and makes a lot of money. He's done over 500, between 500 and 600 of these deals, and he's a special speaker this Thursday at our class. And if you want to come for free, you could just go to investorschooling.com, and you can register for a free class. And we're gonna have him here. It's gonna be awesome.
By the way, the following week, I have locked him in. The HELOC guy from
Yeah.
Citizens Bank who runs 2 separate branches. He's going to prepare a presentation and send it off to us, and he will be here the following week.
That's awesome, man. So we got some really good speakers coming in the next 2 weeks, and you're welcome to come.
Yeah. Like if you're interested in mobile home parks, if you want to learn something about how you can make money, even if you don't want to buy a mobile home park, do you realize that you can just buy a used trailer, fix it up, and then sell it to somebody who owns a mobile home park? I'll tell you, you already know somebody who would buy that. Me.
Yeah, there you
Okay.
go.
I could use some new homes in the park that I just recently bought. The homes are pretty old, and if somebody got me a cool looking home that I might like to own, I'll buy it from you. So, if you've got a mobile home to sell, call Phil Falcone. And
Hey, who's Phil Falcone?
I'm the guy talking right now.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And I'm Larry Steinhouse. I'm the guy talking right now. All right, 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137, and you can definitely talk to us, too.
Can we take a moment and talk to Pedro? I'd like an explanation as to what the heck happened today.
Why he was late this morning?
Of course, I'd like to know that.
Yeah, and the one day he comes late when everything is broken, and I got to run around here and fix everything because he wasn't here.
Were you taking a nap or something? What the heck happened?
I just completely forgot.
I got a little secret for you, Pedro.
What?
So did I. But I was here on time because my wife says at 12:30, she goes, Larry, don't lose track of time. I go, what are you talking about? She goes, radio show? I go, oh no, I got to get in my car. I ran in my luckily for her that I got here on time, because if I didn't get here on time, there would be no show today because we would still be trying to fix the electric problem.
You know, I was wrapped up in doing things for my significant other, like picking up 5 hay bales and a bunch of firewood and a popcorn machine for Halloween. And
Are you having a Halloween party tonight?
No. For Halloween.
I know where you
to give
live.
out
Can I
candy.
come?
I want to know if you're having a Halloween party, because if you're having a Halloween party and you didn't invite your 2 bosses,
No, it's not a Halloween party. We're sitting outside and giving away popcorn for Halloween.
you're going to pop popcorn and give
You
away
giving
popcorn?
kids popcorn?
Don't you know anything about Halloween? You're supposed to only give away wrapped candy.
Again, I was doing these things for my partner.
So you need to tell your partner
Yeah.
that you only got to give away wrapped candy, because every parent knows that you never give away candy that's not wrapped, and they won't let their kid eat it.
Yeah, I'm not a parent, so it's okay.
You're not a parent?
No.
No, you are a parent.
Oh, that's
Apparently, you forgot you're a parent.
like I
Yeah,
forgot the
that's
show
a
was
bad
saying.
idea,
Yeah,
man.
that's
You're
real-
better off giving the kid bullets than giving him popcorn. At least the parents will take the bullets from the kid and use them. to defend America. Popcorn is going to have no purpose at all. Those parents are going to take that popcorn out of that bag and chuck it in the trash so fast.
That's exactly right.
The butter won't even dry.
Yeah, that's exactly
I
right.
agree,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah. I mean, it's,
Right.
it's almost like giving away an apple.
What I
with a
would
razor blade,
recommend is next time give out warm nuts.
Oh man.
I couldn't even say that without laughing.
Should we take a commercial break so we can I don't know, do something?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Take us out.
Hi, I'm.
You're clear.
All right. Welcome back to Investor Schooling Live. Phil had a chance to finish the rest of his warm nuts, so we are good and we are ready to go. You can give us a call at 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137. By the way, Phil, I have to tell you, we always have this conversation where you get on a topic, and you get on a topic and you always say it's 45 minutes, and you know how to go past 45 minutes?
Yeah.
So he'll make the same joke over and over again for 45 minutes, just different ways, and sure enough, it makes people laugh every time. The only problem is last night, we went for about an hour and a half, and he's still doing it. So it's still obviously a good joke.
Well, certain topics just warrant a little bit more above the time limit.
I got it.
But I have learned over the years that, like, if you run with something for about 45 minutes, usually people stop laughing somewhere towards the end of that, right?
All right.
So it's just time to move on to the next topic. You just pick another topic, and then you start with that one.
Hey, by the way, if you're a loyal listener, give us a call, 855-939-1137. We know we have a few loyal listeners, and we just want to say hi to you, 855-939-1137. Give us a call, especially if you were here last weekend. That would be great, too. We had a nice 3-day event last weekend. We taught a lot of great stuff. It was awesome. 855-939-1137. All right, what's the next thing you want to talk about?
Let's talk about the 3-day event and, like, let's discuss some of the people that were here
Yeah, sure.
and the kind of things that we learned. It was pretty impressive.
Yeah, we learned we learned a great way to use life insurance as a. I'm not even sure how to explain it. But
I think the easiest way to explain it is just to say, like, you've heard the expression BYOB, right? Meaning bring your own beer, right? Well, this is be your own banker.
yeah,
And essentially what it is it's a whole life insurance policy that you put this money in for your family or for yourself or for your spouse or for your kids, whoever you want to do it for. And you invest this money and you get a rate of return on it, but you also get to borrow back the money and you can use it for other things. So it's kind of like, if you think about it, you're actually being your own banker. All right. Instead of putting your money that you have into, say, TD Bank, which is a very popular branch around the Philadelphia area, you can put your money into a whole life insurance policy, and then you get to borrow your own money back. So it's kind of a complex topic to explain beyond that level,
Yeah.
but that gives you a concept about what we're doing here. We bring in some of the best people in the country to teach this. And many of the investor schooling students are doing it. And one of our students, Paul, his nickname is Covered Call Paul. Covered Call Paul says that since he's joined investor schooling, he has tripled his net worth.
yeah, and actually he also works with us. He's our marketing guy too.
Yes, he does.
So we brought him in as a employee too, which is pretty wild.
Now, I don't think his net worth was very big at the beginning.
He had $3. Now he has $9. No, I mean, it wasn't substantial, but it was something.
Yeah, yeah.
And now it's definitely something. Yeah.
But in order to become wealthy, at some point, you've got to keep building your accounts.
So you know, most people out there, their net worth is negative.
Yeah, sure.
Most people owe more money.
Sure, if they
Then
owe
they-
50 grand on their credit cards, absolutely they're negative net worth.
Exactly, and you know, even if you include their primary residence, sometimes they're still negative, which is amazing to me that people don't understand how much of a problem that is. Now, I will have to say, if you're paying your bills, at least you're doing that. But if you can't even pay your bills, that's a problem too. We have people come to us all the time. They you know, when they come to us, they show up for the first time, and sure enough, you know, they've had some problem paying bills, so they don't understand what they're doing, and we put them on the right track, and it doesn't take long. We had some people. I'm trying to remember. I mean, we had some people who they came in. They had their credit score was like 580. Their credit score is now in the sevens. It didn't take long, 6 to 9 months. Their credit score is in the sevens. They're buying their first, or they have 2 or 3 rental properties now. They have been making some money in stock options, and their whole life has changed. And they didn't do much more than just become a student of investor schooling.
No, it's one of the nicest things about being a part of this school is that even people like, let's use Jamie and Pedro for an example.
Yeah.
I mean, they bought their first house to live in so they could raise their child as a family. And what was the amount of equity? $107,000 or something like that?
Yeah, they did very well.
So when they bought the house, they bought it. Pedro, what was the number?
We bought it for $150,
And what is it worth?
$250.
Yeah, so 100,000.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought it was over 100 grand. It was like 107,000 or something.
I think
is,
I think
it
it
is.
appraised
It's
for
over.
257, right? Yeah.
You would think I'd get a little piece of that, you know?
Oh, a little. You get a little piece. You know, they bought it, right? No, not that one.
No,
the next
I'm
one they
talking
bought.
about the first one.
Yeah, right.
And then you lent them a car with a car wrap on
Right,
it.
that said I buy
and
houses.
they ended up getting 2 more houses
Right.
from that
From
car.
the car, right? So I lend them that car, and I should get a piece of that one for sure.
Right, you should.
Right?
I mean,
it's amazing, right?
yeah.
Well, anyway, we got Tim in Yardley. What's going on, Tim? How can we help you today?
Hey guys, thanks for taking the call. So I'm approaching retirement. It'll probably be next year, and I have a property, and I have a mortgage on the property, and I was looking for another property, sort of, you know, just like a smaller place, and I'd like to keep the property I have now,
That's smart.
and I just wanted to know how to do that because I'm probably going to be on a retirement income when I really do both.
Well, you know, it's pretty common that we get a lot of people who are close to retirement coming to investor schooling because they're now, even if they're not ready to retire right now, they know that they're going to in a year or two, and they want to learn some additional skills. They want to have some new ways to make money that they probably don't know right now, and options is a great way for that, and nothing. Larry and I don't like anything better than real estate.
Absolutely. So you want to keep your property, you want to move into a smaller property. So do you owe anything on the property you live in?
Yeah, I go about 150,000. The house is probably worth 400,000.
Okay, so tomorrow, because you can't do it today, or have you do it today? Oh, on Monday.
He's coming
Yeah.
in 2 weeks.
No, it's okay. I'm just saying on Monday, you want to apply for a home equity line of credit. If you want to come to Investor Schooling, we
Okay.
got a guy who's going to be talking about that in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So if you want to wait to 2 weeks, that's fine.
Okay.
But I'm telling you right now, even if you decide to not do anything, get a home equity line of credit right now. By the way, everyone listening, if you have equity in your house, get a home equity line of credit, even if you don't use it, because the money's there for you to use if you need it. Then you're going to use that HELOC to buy another property. And that's going to make it very simple, because it's very easy to get a HELOC, especially if you're employed. It's going to be it'll be easy to use that money to buy another property, and then you can then you can move and rent the other one.
So the date that we're going to have a HELOC expert that's, somebody that I've worked with, and he got me a great rate and a great size of a home equity line of credit, and he will be at Investor Schooling on November 4th. So if you were thinking of attending Investor Schooling, why don't you come the evening of November 4th? You could come this Thursday coming up, and then also come to the following week, and that way you would see the guy from Citizens Bank who got me the HELOC.
And you can meet us as well, and we can talk to you more
Okay,
about
I'll look
that
up
situation.
Investor Schooling online. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I
Don't
did
go
have a
online. Come
HELOC
in
before,
person.
but then I refinanced.
Don't go online. Come in
No, I
person.
was going to check it online.
Oh, you check it online. Yeah.
I
Because there's a
got you.
choice to do it via Zoom or do it in person. It's so much better if you do it in person.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
All right, great. Thanks, guys.
You got it, Tim. We're looking forward to seeing you on Thursday. All right. What else we got, Phil?
What else would you like to talk about?
I don't know, man. How about Facebook changing their name to Meta?
Yeah, what do you... I know you said that that means that they're probably going to be changing exchanges, but what would be the real reason for doing that? Because it seems like an oddball move to me.
Actually, it's a brilliant move.
How?
I'm actually surprised that they didn't do it long ago, because they have their hands in so many different things right now. They have what's it called? WhatsApp, and then they have the drones. I don't know if you even know about the drones, the Wi-Fi drones. Then they have Oculus, which is the portal that you could actually see. You put on your glasses, 3D portal. Then they have the portal, which is a similar device as the Amazon Alexa devices. So they're thinking that their main product was Facebook, but they're advancing into other directions. So they don't want to be pigeonholed into going, oh, we're Facebook, we have this social media platform. We're now a huge company, and one of our products is Facebook, which I think it's actually brilliant. To call it Meta, for Meta Universe, I mean, it's just such a scary name and such a scary concept. I mean, if you're into movies like The Matrix or The Terminator, Facebook is definitely Skynet. Facebook is definitely going to become The Matrix. It's scary. It's a science fiction movie in the making. So that's why it's good.
Movies often have a way of coming true.
Absolutely. And the reason is somebody envisioned it, and now somebody's envisioning it more.
Yeah, like one just, you can think of movies that, especially older movies, that have come true, like 1984.
No, we're living the prequel to 1984. Well, the book, right? So we're living the prequel. So Winston, Winston is sitting in his apartment, and he's got this monitor on the wall, which is actually the Amazon Alexa with the video. And what we didn't know is when you read that book, you don't know how that monitor got put in his room. You would just assume the government put the monitor in his room. No, we volunteered. We actually bought them and put them in our room by ourselves, which is pretty amazing when you think about it.
Which is exactly what's happening with TV and every kind of in our phones and
absolutely.
And Alexa
Absolutely.
and every kind of device that we have in the house.
Absolutely. It's beyond scary, but at the same time, 35 more years. I just need 35 more years, Phil.
Yeah. Well, I got an Alexa in my house, and I unplug it every chance I remember. I don't. What do I need? I don't need that thing.
No, I don't care. I don't. So,
I'm trying to be less
noticed?
using social media. I don't get any joy out of being on Facebook. I mean, for business reasons, if I want to pump out a house and move it, I'll use the Facebook Marketplace, or I'll put an ad up there about something or other. And for Investor Schooling, I'll do some ads on there. But if it wasn't for those two businesses, I would never be on there.
So I'm going to tell you something interesting about Facebook Marketplace. It's the best place to put rentals. I get more response from Facebook Marketplace on rentals than I get anywhere, including the MLS.
I heard you say that just a couple days ago. So.
Yeah, and yesterday I put one up, and I've already gotten 15 responses for one property that I put up in Lansdale, and I had 2 real estate agents go out there show it. I had 0 response from Zillow, and I had 15 responses from Facebook Marketplace so far in 2 days.
I'm surprised you got 0 from Zillow, but
it usually takes about a week before you get anything from Zillow, and then Zillow has their own way that they want to do things. So I'm not even a big fan of that too. By the way, 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137. Give us a call. We'd love to talk to you about whatever it is you want to talk about. Right?
Okay, so we're looking at a house after this radio show.
Oh, we are? Okay, I wasn't sure if we were still on.
We are. We have an appointment.
We can't talk much about it because it's a deal in play, and we don't like to talk about deals in play. Because you know what happens when you talk about a deal in play? It just so happens that the seller's listening, and they go, oh, those guys. Huh, those are those guys. No wonder they only offered me, $1,000 for the home worth $400,000.
It's just good policy, I
I'm only
think.
kidding.
I think it's just good policy when you're in a school full of investors. I don't think anybody would try to steal a deal from anybody here.
Mm-hmm.
That's never happened as far as I know. But it's always just good policy to loose lips sink ships. So,
Yeah.
Keep your mouth shut until you got it locked up.
And plus, it's like one of those things where you don't want to jinx the deal.
Of course. And then when you get it locked up, okay, meaning that you got a signed contract, now you can come to the school and talk to everybody about what it is that you're planning to do and let other people evaluate your deal. Let other people come up with suggestions, all kinds of ideas.
And it's interesting because what we'll do too is we have coaching appointments with our students, and so they'll come to us, either Phil or I, in a private coaching session, tell us about the deal. We obviously are not going to steal that deal because that's obviously we have the integrity not to, and we'll talk to them about the deal. We'll talk to them if it's a good deal, and as soon as they get on the contract, we'll recommend that they bring it up in a mastermind meeting and tell everybody about it. By the way, we got Jeff in Gap. What's going on, Jeff?
I'm looking at a hotel that's closed.
Okay.
Okay. And basically, I became familiar with this place because I paid for somebody to stay there, and they closed because of the pandemic the day after we bought a week's.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
And essentially, they cheated me out of that money.
Okay.
So I've watched the place, and they closed, and they opened, and then they closed again, and they're closed right now.
How many units?
And I'm looking.
How many units in it?
It's about 120 units
Wow, that's great. Okay, so tell
in
us
the
about
hotel.
it. So tell me more about why you think you
About-
want to buy it.
Well, I was thinking one of the things I came up with is the government has a whole bunch of homeless veterans.
Okay.
And essentially, when you call the government and say this guy's a homeless veteran, they say, well, do something eventually. And I was thinking one of the things you could do is get the government to pay you so much to reserve rooms for homeless veterans.
So Jeff, I love the altruism. I love the idea, but you're about 30 steps past where you need to be right now. And the first step you need to do, can you guess what that
Okay.
is? The first,
Find out the price
and the owner.
and the owner, yes.
Yeah. So when you do that, now you could decide whether it's something you want to do, whether it's something you want to buy, whether it's cash flowing, whether you can even come up with the money. And by the way, an investor school would teach you how to come up with the money to buy that because that's not out of reach. And these are all the things you need to do before you figure out who you're going to rent the rooms to. Rent the rooms to. You get it?
Yes, well, I know that. And I was just thinking all kinds of, plus there's always the possibility of doing what you did up in whatever in Buck and make it like a suite type thing too.
Well, one
You
thing
know,
you could do,
hotel
One thing you could do, Jeff, is why don't you call the phone number that we give out on the show, which is 855-939-1137. And you could talk to Larry, usually answers that phone, and you could give him some details on it, and maybe we might want to get involved.
Yeah, we might even want to partner with you. So,
Yeah.
give us a call if you want to show up
Yeah.
this week. Are you close to Langhorne?
I'm over an hour away.
Okay, we do have people
Okay,
who come
but,
up from the Poconos, so you can come.
Yeah.
You're welcome to come this Thursday, and you can meet us, and you can pull us aside after class, and we can talk a little bit about it if you'd like. But at the same time, show up anyway. And if it sounds like a good deal, we'll definitely talk to you about it.
Yeah, I mean, if you came down here,
Okay.
if you came down here this Thursday night, we would have time to talk to you.
All right.
All right. Between now and then, I
I
want you
don't
to
know if I
find the
can
owner.
make it Thursday.
All right, that's fine. You make
Yeah,
it when you
well,
can.
I go to the library. It's the easiest way.
All right. Between now and then, I want you to find the
Probably.
owner, and I want you to have his phone number, and you either have called him, or if you don't want to call him and you want to talk to us first about what to say, that's fine. But that's what I want you to do. That's your homework assignment before you meet us. All right.
All right.
All right. Because
You
if
have
you
a
don't,
great day.
because if you don't do it by Thursday, Phil and I are going to find it, and we're going to buy it, and then we're going to call you back and tell you we bought it.
Okay.
All right.
Have a great day.
Thanks, Jeff. Take care.
Bye.
What do you think, Phil? Should we start looking for that hotel?
No,
Yeah, I don't think so either.
but let's see if he calls or let's see if he shows up.
Absolutely, it'd be great. Yeah, and if you want to come this Thursday, go to investorschooling.com and you can register for a free class, and you can learn about hotels, you can learn about commercial buildings, you can learn about residential buildings, you can learn about money. We teach a lot of money. In fact, for you guys who don't know, I actually have a book coming out. It's going to be out in about a month or two. It's called Money Hacks, and with the subtitle, Because Everything You Think You Know About Money is Probably Wrong. And that's pretty much the way it is. Most people have the complete opposite views of money and what to do with it. And this book will set you straight. All right, where are we going next?
I think we should go to the Sultan.
This early, huh? All right.
Yeah, let's give the Sultan some time. He's got a lot of important things to talk about.
All right, let's do it. Let me see what I got going on here. Let's tell you what. Let me do this. Let's go to a commercial real quick, and then I'll have everything pulled up. All right, let's go to a commercial, and we'll see you in a couple minutes.
have 47 offices in the prestigious address of Huntington Valley. I have offices starting at $5.95 a month. You're probably wondering, Phil, what do I get for $5.95 a month? Let me tell you. You get an office big enough for one person. You get the furniture in that office. You get the telephone on the desk. You get the telephone numbers. You get the fax numbers. You get 2 full-time receptionists to answer the phone in the name of your company and patch the calls to you. So if your company's ABC Painting Company, hey, ABC Painting Company, how can I help you? Would you like to talk to Bob? Let me get him on the phone. You could be home sleeping on your couch, and I'll patch the calls right to you. What else do we give you? We give you the conference rooms, we give you the kitchen, we give you the mailboxes, the printer, the copier, the scanner, UPS service, you name it. All of the utilities, cleaning service, and best of all, we give you free coffee. Get yourself to Executech Suites. Phone number is 215-942-7701. 215-942-7701. Executechsuites.com.
Hey, it's Larry Steinhouse from InvestorSchooling.com. Hey, listen, one of the things we teach in Investor Schooling is stock options. Did you know that you can make 50, 100, 150% returns every year trading stock options? Yes, I know there's risk, but I'm going to tell you right now that some of the things we teach will help you mitigate that risk. Could you imagine when you look at your return and it shows 100% returns? You will be really happy.
Coming back in 15.
You can RSVP at investorschooling.com. Our headquarters are in Langhorne, and you will learn stock options trading. Of course, you will also learn real estate.
5.
Schooling.com. We will see you there Thursday night. I'm digging this music, man. I like it. All right. Welcome back to Investor Schooling Live. I am Larry Steinhouse, and I'm here with Phil Falcone, and we have been discussing real estate, and now we're going to be getting into the fun part, the most fun part of the day, which is the stock option sultan. If you want to give us a call, 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137. All right, let's get into it.
Stock option sultan. Stock option sultan.
All right, so I was very surprised on Friday, Phil, that the stock market didn't tank. Very surprised. I saw Apple and Amazon the night before give terrible earnings, and I said, "That's it. We're gonna see the beginning of the end." And it didn't happen. I was shocked. The Dow actually closed up about 90 points, which really surprised me. It was choppy during the day.
Yeah, but at one point, Apple was down 5 points.
Yeah, Apple was down 5 points, and it closed only down 3 points, which means it was an awesome play when it was down 5 points. Now, I do expect it to possibly go down just a little bit more. Not much. I mean, I wouldn't see it go any less than 145 before it takes back off. So if you want to get in that area, that's fine. The only thing you need to understand, though, is that we are heading to November. Now, November is usually not a horrible month. It's just not a great month. But this November is going to have its own challenge, and the biggest challenge probably is going to be the fact that we have the debt ceiling vote coming back up. And the last time that happened, we had a really bad week, or actually really a couple of bad weeks in the stock market, and we're going to get a repeat of that. I'm also predicting Evergrande is going to come back into the market too. I actually made a fun prediction on Thursday. I predicted that we're going to see a article on Evergrande on Tuesday. So look on Tuesday and see if you see one. This is just a fun little speculative guess, but as far as Apple goes, I think Apple's still a good play. I also think Meta or Facebook or whatever it is right now. By the way, they haven't changed the symbol yet. The symbol's going to be changed. I think it changes December 1st. But they're already calling themselves Meta. It's not Facebook anymore. It's already called Meta.
Well, there's awful lot of other interesting things happening, like inflation, like this very strange problem where products being shipped to the United States can't get offloaded from the ship. And the shelves are already starting to be empty in supermarkets. So there's a whole lot of things going on that add up to me to be one big conspiracy theory.
Yeah, I totally agree. However, it is what it is. You're going to have to just deal with it. So there's two ways to look at this. You could say, why is this happening? Or how can I make this work for me? And I just kind of learned how to make it work for me.
Well, one thing that I've been doing is I'm growing food indoors now.
That's right, I remember. Right.
Okay, so because it's perfect time to take plants that are outside right now, move them inside your house, just in case the shelves do become empty at a supermarket. I'd like to have a little bit of food laying around.
All right, wait a minute. We're going off on the other side now. I got to get back into stock option sultan stuff.
Okay, go ahead.
So I like some of the oil plays. Halliburton, I think, is a play. It's hovering around 25. I believe it has plenty of room to go to 30, 35. Not super fast, but it's going to happen because as long as President Braindead and his dummy crew keeps this green energy thing going on, we're gonna have oil prices just keep going up. So they're basically threatening you into buying EVs, which is the concept. The idea is if you keep making oil prices go up, people are going to say, "Oh, I better buy an electric vehicle now," and it's amazing. It's simply blackmail. It really is.
I heard Jen Psaki say on Friday, watching Fox Business, she said, one of the reasons that the products aren't getting offloaded off of the ships is because too many people are buying too much online stuff.
Yeah, she's so smart. Wow.
She is a pathological liar.
Did you also hear that they want to fine was it the ships or the drivers? I can't remember. $100 a day for the containers. That's what it was. If they keep the empty stored container on the dock, they want to charge the dock $100 a day fine for keeping we don't care about the empty containers. We need the new containers to come out. And Biden said he's going to make the docks run 24 hours.
They already were.
I think they were closed 3 hours, is what it was for a short period of time. And it's like, okay, but where are you going to get the workers for this? Is they going to subsidize it? I don't know. I mean, I actually think that they live in a different world. Actually, they clearly do live in a different world.
I think they're doing it on purpose.
It's very possible at this point because I can't believe that these people could be that dumb, but they are. All right, Disney is another stock that I really like at this price. It actually got a downgrade. And I got to tell you that downgrade is probably a great buying opportunity. It's sitting at 170 right now. I think it's clearly going to hit 190 in the near future, and I think you're going to be fine with it. If you jump in, actually 190 might even be aggressive. Let's even say 180 to 185 is an easy play, and Disney should be going up, especially when they also, if they can drop their dummy mask mandates, they'll have more people visiting Disney World. So that'll be another thing that'll be great for them. The big problem is Disney Plus, which is the online streaming system. But I got to tell you, so what? So they have less people subscribing to it because less shows are being made because of the COVID problem. Who cares? It doesn't matter. It's going to build up anyway. And in fact, it's just an added-on revenue. Disney was always a great show. So it's not a great show, a great stock. I wouldn't worry about it. All right, real quick, what else you got that's a good one for you that you want to hear about? So Pinterest, just so you know real quick, I was a fan of Pinterest, and it was funny. I do a show during the day called Money Chat Now. If you guys have watched it, that's great. And I predicted, so last week, or it was the week before, I guess it was, PayPal, there was a rumor that PayPal was going to buy Pinterest, and Pinterest jumped 10 points on that. Actually, it jumped 12 points at one point. And I said, flat out, that this is not going to happen. I said PayPal will not buy Pinterest. I said it's a false rumor. And sure enough, 2 days later, it's exactly what happened. It was announced that PayPal said we had no idea. We had no interest in it whatsoever, and it dropped again. Now, the problem with Pinterest is it actually hit its 52-week low on Friday again, which makes it unpredictable stock. Most likely it's going to go down from here. Unfortunately, I have a little bit of play in it, but it's not a good play anymore. It's time to actually run away from it because it did hit the 52-week low. I would replace it at this point. That's my thought, too. Let's talk about Alibaba, which, if you remember, we talked about Alibaba a couple of times. It's hovering around 165, and probably will stay there for a little while until the Chinese, I don't know, until the Chinese let people make money again. I'm not even sure what the Chinese are doing, but it's a strange thing. Real quick, let's get into crypto, because all of a sudden crypto seems to absolutely, it just doesn't want to stop crypto. So Bitcoin is sitting at 61,500-ish, and who cares? I mean, who wants to buy Bitcoin anyway when all the other coins are making more money? Ethereum is actually broke a record the other day at 4,400, but then there's the Shiba that everybody's buying, which I made 30 grand in 2 weeks just for fun. So there's Shiba, and there's also Dogecoin or Doggycoin, whatever you want to call it. It's another one that just, they make absolutely no sense. And to be totally honest with you, these are not investments. These are pure speculation. So if you're going to play speculation, you can go ahead and do it.
Every day of my life, somebody comes up to me and tells me I should buy Bitcoin.
Yeah.
I'm really getting tired of it.
All right. You need to take us out.
All right, so thanks to our producer, Glenn, for helping us out today. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor on this show, just email us at info@investorschooling.com, info@investorschooling.com. You can always call us at 855-939-1137, 855-939-1137. Investor Schooling has a free class at 7 p.m. every Thursday night. Consider yourself invited. Bring anybody you want. Our address is 108 Corporate Drive in Langhorne, Pennsylvania. And that's Thursday night at 7 o'clock.
InvestorSchooling.com.
We are out of here.
In no way represents the views of WPHT or
in no way.
Thank you.